Hey guys, this is Jamie. So today I'm gonna be talking about gay rights. No, I'll be talking more specifically about how I feel that people forgot certain aspects when it comes to gay history, and I wanted to talk about how the part of the Holocaust and that gay people were obviously in concentration camps and working camps by Nazi Germany at the time, when World War II started. And I feel very strange that obviously it was a very vocal point like 10 years ago and before that, and gay people used to wear the pink triangle a lot, sort of to identify themselves with the history. And it is part of our history that we were persecuted a lot, and um, when other prisoners were released uh, by the US or by the Soviet Union, they weren't gay people specifically, which were in prison, specifically gay men, because it was more about imprisoning gay men. They weren't exactly released, but they were kept in those camps or kept as prisoners elsewhere and just moved. So it wasn't even that anyone was actually releasing them, despite the fact that obviously others were being released, because it was still a crime to be gay factually everywhere. And I find it really weird that we kind of went through this period in time where I feel like the problems are obviously always Americanized, but we still discuss certain things because, I feel just like people had more compassion to one another. And yeah, so I felt really strange noticing that going through. And I do understand that we talk about the AIDS crisis, and I think it's very important to talk about the AIDS crisis. I'm not diminishing that in any way, but I do feel that it really, while I was thinking about this video and what to talk about it, it really feels to me that if the Holocaust were to happen in the US and gay people were to be prosecuted the same way, it was in Nazi Germany, only in the US, then people would discuss it more. Hence, that's why, for instance, we see more outrage at the laws in Florida. There's barely anything about the LGBT laws that are passing in Russia these days. Well, obviously, Russia's a different case scenario. But in general, there's a lot of countries which went under the radar for all these years when it came to bad LGBT rights, gay rights, trans rights. And the UK just, and even when we think about the UK, it's not really discussed, and people don't take J.K. Rowling's, for instance, hatred seriously to this day. I mean, you still have videos, reviews, and this was something I thought if I wanted to do a topic even completely about, but I'm just so burnt out. Um, that's the thing. Like, if it was someone American, I feel like people would take it more seriously. And obviously, the people, because she's in the UK, they don't take it seriously. Even though it is taken seriously to an extent compared to other world problems or other problems that trans or gay people face in other parts. So the UK kind of gets some attention. So it's really weird that we're only supposed to care about what happens in American soil when it comes to the Holocaust as well. So that kind of ends what, happens because of Nazi Germany and what was going on in the 20th century against gay people. So I do really feel weird about that. And even when you think about it, I really enjoyed. Enjoyed is a weird word, but I do enjoy sort of reading World War II stories and etc. And you don't get that many when it comes to gay men, because obviously I don't even know how many survives factually to tell the story. Were they even okay to tell the story? From what I know, I remember one book which had a recollection of those thoughts from gay men, and it was literally just scraps of information here and there. And maybe it's because people just don't care about World War II these days. And obviously, right now we have a different situation with Israel, we have Russia as well. So people try to distance themselves from World War II, but I just really want to say that the gay men, the gay people who were killed, had to do horrendous things, you know, were in concentration camps. They don't deserve to be silenced. And in general, I feel like we're trying to do this black and white world, but we need to remember that innocent civilians are nearly everywhere. And I understand that people tend to focus on what matters to them, but it's still a fucked up thing. Like, this whole sort of alienation from the US and people trying to make sure that the US is the one that gets all the attention is really weird. I have spoken about it in the past. So at the end of the day, no matter what I do, say, or talk about on the internet, like if I raise awareness when it comes to like the killings Nazis had done, like and the fact that they burnt an institute and the books when it comes to trans people, gay people, back in Germany, which was before the war started, where trans people are doing their transitions, trans women mainly, and I think it was just trans women at that time. But in general, gay people were killed. Everything. I just find it weird that people don't think about these things. That history is forgotten simply because it wasn't on US soil. And the countries don't matter because they're not US soil. Or like, I mean, it's a very sort of niche thing to know that Alan Turing was gay and that he was like eventually poisoned himself because and was injected hormones and through the end of his life closer to his suicide. And we don't discuss that. He's barely discussed factually. We have such a wide variety of gay people who we have lost, not just through AIDS, but for a bunch of different reasons, through history just being cruel and people being cruel. There's obviously a lot of people who just choose suicide. And people just don't care. And I do find it very, very disgusting. In general, I've been, I guess this week, when it comes to reflection, I know more and more people talk about it, but it does feel like the internet is sort of like this vacuum of just people screaming at each other and only caring about their rights. And I do understand that we're in a very difficult situation right now. We have we have actually Israel just bombing Palestine, and we have obviously the war in Ukraine, which I hope is going to slow down since, it doesn't gain that much traction these days. And I really hope there will be some sort of agreements, because at this point I just feel terrible for the people. And obviously a lot of people lost their lives, their homes, their lands, everything. And yeah, it's very difficult. I feel like the war revealed a lot of things that were kept behind, and it's gonna be really weird, I think, the post-war period, specifically for people who are Ukrainian, Russians as well. And yeah, so my video kind of went sort of talking about everything at once, because I just feel that things aren't being discussed enough when it comes to gay people, when it comes to international stuff. Even if international stuff gets attention, it's gonna be washed out, and at the end of the day, you're still gonna have someone say, yeah, but in Florida we have that now, and that's what we should worry about. I'm not saying we shouldn't care about what's happening in Florida and in the US, but where's the same passion for someone else? People really just want to fuck over other people and think about themselves. And that's the fucked up part. So when I say stuff like, why are we forgetting how gays were killed and how many gay people were killed in Nazi Germany, it just also shows a bigger picture that people just don't care at all about history. And even then, like being in school, obviously, I grew up in a very homophobic place and transphobic place. So we barely discussed it. I was like, yeah, and they killed gay people, and that's it. And that's why I was really relieved to see people discuss it on a wider scale, like in the tens, zeros, ends of zeros, really. But now we're going back to that ignorance, where it only matters if, it's an American soil. So, and while I do understand that many problems stem from America intervening, we still need to address other ones. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope I gave some reflection. If I reached even one person today to think about stuff or to check on history, I guess my mission is done really for this video. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Obviously, if you like this video, give it a like. If you enjoy my videos, subscribe to see my face more. And feel free to buy me a coffee. I only say this because I'm not monetized, I swear. Thank you very much.